Hi guys, Shaun from OpticsWarehouse. So today we're going to be giving you a roundup of First Focal Plane scopes under £500. But before we get into it, we're actually going to be talking quickly about the key points of a First Focal Plane rifle scope. So if you pick up a First Focal Plane, you increase the mag and the actual size of the reticule appears to grow. So this is because the First Focal Plane gives you a consistent ranging scale, or the ability to use the actual optic and the reticule throughout its magnification range for hold-offs and hold-unders, and the ability to make measuring with the ret. So if you're wanting to, say, shoot at a target and nothing's changed, for instance, and you say I'm actually 1 MOA off to the right, you can look at the ret on any magnification and dial in that 1 MOA, and your point of impact will then be in the center of the target. This is all reliant on external conditions, but that sort of gives you one of the main features of the First Focal Plane. So let's get into it. So we'll start from the cheapest and move up to the most expensive now. So we'll start off with the Falcons. Falcon is split into two models in the S series. You have the S30 and the S18. This is the S18i for illumination. So the S18i is a 3-18 by 50 illuminated. It has a 30mm main tube, gives you 27 MRAD of internal adjustment, which is a staggering 92 MOA. So there's plenty of internal adjustment in here. So if you are looking to push this out to some distance, you've got plenty of adjustment in there to do it. It has 10 mils per revolution, and that is common on both the S18 and the S30. You have illumination, which is basically a stepped illumination system located on the side parallax. It comes up to 6, but has steps within each number. So you have 6, a step, 1, 2, 3, etc. Between each number there is an off button. So basically you can return to your preferred illumination setting. It's a mil-based click, 0.1 mil-rad click, and has a mil-based reticule. So then basically we move on to the S30. S30, really the main difference is the magnification. You've got the S30, which has a 5 to 30 magnification range. Again, 30mm tube. The 5 to 30 features a 56mm objective, as opposed to the 3-18, which is a 50mm. On both models, they both have side parallax, and they come down to air rifle and rimfire ranges, so you're talking 10 to 15 yards. You again have 10 mils per revolution on the turret. You have a reduced amount of MOA because obviously this is a higher magnification, and in the cheaper stuff it is hard to get a large amount of internal adjustment out of the scopes, as well as giving a high mag range. So this scope gives you about 17 mil rad, which is about 60 MOA. So if you are wanting to extend the range out on this, I would start to look at a set of adjustable mounts, or making sure you pair this with an MOA rail. Move on to the windage and the elevation. Nice solid clicks feature on both, and really reticule, we are talking a mil-based ret and a mil-based click, and sort of that really summarizes that. The Falcons are just in mil, so that is your only option currently on them. So that sort of just summarizes the Falcon range. Price wise, they're coming in at around £330. So we're just going to move then on to the next price point, which is about just under 400. I've only got one of the Athlons here in the Argos range. The Athlon Argos comes in a 6-24 by 50, and there's an 8-34 by 56. The one I've got on the table is the 8-34 by 56, just because I do know a lot of customers like the higher mag range. It's a 30mm tube. This is on both units, the 6-24 and the 8-34. They're available in MOA and mil. The Falcons previously were only available at present in mil. So the Athlon gives you the choice, whether you're an MOA shooter or a mil shooter, you have the option here. On the MOA version, on this 8-34, you've got 12 MOA per revolution, and you sort of get around 50-ish MOA of adjustment in the 8-34, which is not a massive amount. Again, as soon as you start pushing the magnification up, you tend to then lose the internal adjustment the scope gets, unless you're then putting on a larger tube. Again, these have side focus. Both Athlon Argoses come down to air rifle distances. The 8-34 comes down to 15, and the 6 comes down to 10 yards. So that sort of summarises the Athlons. They come in at around £400. The 8-34 is slightly over, and this sort of leads nicely then onto the next option. We then move on to the Optisans. The Optisan is a 6-24 by 50. There is a 4-16 by 44, but we're tending to go for we're talking about the scopes with the larger objectives today. So 50mm and above really, instead of dropping down to those 44s. There is much more first focal planes available, but they tend to drop in objective lens size. So we're talking about the 50s today. The 6-24 by 50 is available in non-illuminated and illuminated. And this one here is the non-illuminated version. Comes in around £410, 30mm tube, around 60 MOA of internal adjustment. At the moment, Optisans are only available in mil. So they do pair this with a mil click and a mil base ret, so it makes it nice and easy. The illuminated version, which is available, that also comes with a mil base click and a mil base ret, and sort of hits the market probably around £425. The Optisan has side parallax again down to 10 yards, as pop-up push-down turrets, so they're locking, and it has a resettable to 0 function, which is basically undo the locking ring, spin the dial back to 0, spin it back up. Once your 0 is set, you then can have your 0 reset back to 0. And that sort of really just summarises the Optisan. As we move from there, we start to move up to the Hawke series. They come in the Sidewinder to begin with, the Sidewinder FFP, and that's available in the 6-24 by 56. Again, a 30mm tube, and that gives you just about the same MOA, about 60, and you get a set of flip-ups included. You get that 0.1mm rad click, mil base ret, illumination, which is 5-step in green and then 5-step in red, and you get the side parallax down to 10 yards. As we move from that Sidewinder, which is about £450 to about 420, depending on whereabouts you purchase it from, you come up to the top of the range Hawke, and also where we start to finish the video and round up. We've got the Hawke Frontier here. The Hawke Frontier is a 3-15 by 50. They do a 5-25 by 50 Frontier, but that Frontier is pushing £600, so it's not obviously included in this video. The little compact 3-15 by 50 has low profile turrets which are lock-in, pull out, push down, etc. 30mm main tube, plenty of internal adjustment, about 20 MRAD, has side focus down to air rifle and rimfire ranges again, so about 15 yards. It has illumination located on the side parallax, which is a 6-step illumination system. However, between each number on the illumination there is an off switch, so that's an extra step in there just for you allow you to get back to that preferred illumination setting. That versatile 3-15 mag range is very popular at the moment, and sort of gives the ability to really get down for the hunting, so you can get that wide field of view on your beginning of your magnification, and then gives you the extended range for pushing the scope out further. It's a like I said, a 0.1mm rad click. The mil base ret is a simple sort of hash mark elevation and windage system, and that really for first focal planes sort of summarises the options we suggest. There is other options out there, guys, but these are sort of the ones which are sort of ticking the boxes for a lot of people and giving you the features which we deem sort of necessary for either air rifle use, rimfire, or for the guys putting these onto centre fires and looking to just push the distance out, or just make their lives easier at the shorter ranges for using the reticule as much as possible. So price rundown on FFPs. So the Hawke Frontier 3-15 by 50, this comes in around £450 to £500. You have the Hawke Sidewinder FFP 6-24 by 56. This comes in at around £450 to £420. You then have the invisible, currently 6-24 by 50 illuminated Optisan. That comes in around £460 retail, but you'll probably find these for around £420. This then goes on to the Optisan 6-24 by 50 non-illuminated first focal plane. That's about £410. You then have the Athlon Argos 8-34 by 56. That comes in around £420. Then again leads on to the invisible, well, not actually currently invisible, the Athlon Argos 6-24 by 50. This comes in at around £400. Back. From that is then the two Falcons, which are the 3-18 and the 5-30. Both come in at £329.95. So I hope that summarises some first focal plane choices under £500. Remember, if you've got any further questions, you can always give us a call, drop us an email, and alternatively you can comment below and make sure we try and get back to you as soon as possible. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like the page, and we'll keep the videos coming. Cheers guys.